ゲームのエラーが起こってしまいまして、ゲームが強制的に中断されてしまいました。で、今また復帰しましたので、またよかったら見てください。大変申し訳ありません。で、それ買い物をしたんやけど、買い物したのってあるんかな。どれで見たらいいんや。あ、こういうとこっていけるんかな。あ、ないわ。すいません、ありがとうございます。突然ゲームのエラーで切れちゃって、原因が分からへんから、ちょっとアプリケーションエラーでした。あんまりエラー続くようやったら、ちょっとゲームこれ中古で買ったんで、ちょっと販売元持って行ってなんか対応してもらおうかな。とりあえずこのクエスト、サブクエストをちょっとやっていこうと思うんですが、こっちは2階か。これ上やな。この人初めてちゃう。
What can I do for you, Doctor?
じゃあ喋ってるわ。
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
すいません。不明。これ喋ろう。
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
難しい話してんな。
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir. I'm
Dr.
Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter.
いわゆるこっちの床の方が気になるな。
But that means I need both arms
これ
to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
今やったらクッションフロアとかフロアタイルでいけるけど、これ木材カットしてこれ貼るめちゃくちゃ難しいねんけどな。すごいな。めちゃめちゃ金かかってる病院なんやろな。でも当時はまだインフルエンザとか病気、今やったらもう簡単に治せる病気がまだそれに抵抗でき治療できるような薬がまだない時代やったよね。今みたいに医療が充実してなかったもんね。この人はどこに入んの？はい。ああ、かんかん。
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau
スト
Strickland.
ローストリックラン
I'm
ド
a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
なあ、友好的やね。だいぶ埋まってきたな。あと2人。
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
大ファンやな。
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
なんか手伝いますよ。
Yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop,
お、
what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may
ミッ
pass
ション
by
発生
if I have
か。
time.
おー、来た来た。
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
さあ、アクロイドの最新医療嫌い。
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
君の輸血技術。
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr.
フィディ
Fiddick's
クさ
story.
ん、どんな
My
人？
first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
ありがとさん。
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
なるほど。もうないか。
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me,
こいつなんか出たっけ。
Circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
なんかいろいろヒント出てるな。
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you,
さっき
Dr.
の
Reed.
人や。
Can I be of any help?
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
すまへんな。何したらいい？テルマをかかっているのが誰かを突き止めろ。サブミッションしよう。あれ？これ多分上やな。
You are going to reveal
違うんか。消えた。え？違うんか。これ降りた方がいいんか。なんで消えるの？ んあ、なんか出たイメージ。
Circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
あ、話しかけなあかんのかな。
You always knew the words to calm the children. What
そうや。
What can I do for you, Doctor?
And Mr. Hampton,
Yeah,
the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Why, damn it? Blaming me will not further your agenda. How long has it come this like to fix these problems, huh? A year! You have the right to disapprove of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better. Will this shift never end?
なんで消えるんやろ。
'Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
建物の中か。おった。
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
薬あげたらええんちゃうん。
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
なんで？おう、なんでやねん。あ、それバグったから買ってないんや。
I have to go now, sir. But don't
ちょ買いに行こ
hesitate to contact me
ちょ
if you
ちょ
need any help.
わかったわかった、行くぞ。薬。あれどこやったっけ？裏口やん。 ん、ちょっと待って、これなんや。え、あれどこや。あ、ここやったかな。おったおったおったおった。
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again. Please show me what you have to sell. Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
よし、ちょっと直したろう。これ移動難しいな。あれここやんな。
This hospital seems.
Good evening, madam.
あ、じゃああんたちゃうねんて。
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
親子
I'm
か。
Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
まあちょっと会話しましょ
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of
Ah,
my
わかっ
Mortimer
た。
and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
う。はい。え、何をローディングしてん、突然何。
Good evening, Mr.
ああ、
Goswick.
来た。
How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
え、え、あれ買ってへんかった。いや、なんか合成せなあかんのかこれ。
I will see you later.
ちょっと待って。
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need
ちょっと
anything.
部屋行こ
Good evening, sir.
う。部屋行くで。
Will this shift never let you down, my boy?
あ、違うんかな。でも競争剤って書いてたな。キニーネっていうのと、あ、ないんか。ちょっと無理なんかな。補充できないと弾変わんでええな。よし。そしたらこっち行こうか。薬局に到達する。それはどこだ。あ、ここか。行こうか。結構な距離ちゃうんこれ。